The word of the day is ADHD.
Unmotivated, distracted, and wondering if it's ADHD.
ADHD.
When it is left untreated.
ADHD in women.
I'm an emergency medicine doctor with ADHD, and these are 4.
The worst part about ADHD is not
ADHD is not what you think it is, and it actually makes your life much more difficult.
ADHD is the wrong condition to leave untreated.
This is another thing that neurotypicals will never understand about ADHDers.
Are we overdiagnosing, or are we just now finally catching up with what we've missed for decades? So as somebody who is currently in the process, not yet diagnosed, but currently in the process of getting checked for ADHD, dyslexia, and then also APD, which is fairly new to us. Not really, but I just finally started hearing about it. This subject really intrigues me because for the most part, never in my life would I think that I would be sitting here talking about getting tested and finally being relief about actually getting tested. I was typically the one who encouraged others. Get tested. There's nothing wrong with it. This doesn't mean you're less than. I was always very encouraging, especially my background, bachelor and master's in psychology. So I was just always excited and encouraging others to, see what's going on. It's not a disability. I mean, yes, yeah, you can. It depends how you look at it. But to me, I'm like, it's not a disability. It's an enhancement. And for myself, I've always had that internal struggle, but I just always made these wild excuses. One of them for dyslexia, which I've struggled and I'm just finally coming into term, it would always be, my spelling is terrible. I can't spell to save my life, and I've tried so many things. So my spelling is terrible. Sometimes I forget the most basic words, just because the sounds, for some reason, are not correlating or they're not transferring in my head. So I'll misspell the most basic words, and other times I'm like genius. My spelling is better when it comes to writing rather than typing. I don't know, something about typing and writing, it makes a huge difference for me. But I'm pretty good with reading. That's why I never thought about being dyslexic or anything like that, because I can read pretty well. Once I start struggling with the words, sometimes it might mess me up, but I read pretty well. The only issue I have with reading is I skip words and I predict words when I'm reading. So I'm reading a sentence, and instead of actually reading what's there, I predict what's gonna make sense to be there. So if that makes any sense to anyone. But for the most part, when it comes to reading, I skip words. I forget what I read. I'll reread over and over. But if it's something that's really fascinating to me, I'll still sometimes forget what I read, but I'm happy to go back and read it. And for the most part, I have a hard time reading when I don't know how something's gonna end. So I'll actually read the last chapter of books sometimes, especially if this only applies if it's one of the, if it's, something interesting, not like books like, interesting books that are fun to read, like fiction. Let me see, what's fiction? What's fiction? Fiction, narrative work, include novel, story. Yeah, so fiction. So if I'm reading fiction, then I typically like to kind of get a feel of what I'm about to read or what I'm about to get into. So I'll go ahead and read the last chapter and then know how it ends. So I like to know how it ends, and then I'll start the book, and then everything that I'm reading, I'll know will lead to this. And another thing is, so when I'm having a conversation in my head, like everything is very fluent. Like I know words, I know so much words, but then when it's time for me to verbally get them out, it's just, I can't formulate sentences sometimes. And sometimes I can, and I can go ahead and articulate myself. And other times it's tragic. I can't formulate a sentence. I'm having a hard time putting words together. And that can happen, and it can be very, very traumatic sometimes, depending on who's the target audience. Is it just friends, family, or am I in a meeting or presenting? So it's just a lot. So I'm excited to finally get tested. It's in 2 weeks, 3 weeks. They push it back to 3 weeks, which is fine. The first time it took me about a year to fully schedule it, and then they rescheduled it, and then it took me about 3 weeks to call back, or maybe a month to call back, and I was dodging having to call them back again, and then now they rescheduled it again. I'm getting tired of this, but I finally called back and I was like, listen, can we get this taken care of? Because I'm tired of this. So we have 3 weeks to finally get this situated. And I'm excited to know, to be honest. If it's not, I'll be really shocked, but I've just been trying to, work on myself, trying to eat healthy, live healthy, trying to do everything I can do outside of, because I really do not want to be put on medication. But it's something where out of nowhere I've realized that you can't ignore. I can't keep ignoring it. I cannot keep ignoring it. I have all this greatness to give. And I'm realizing how stunted I've been, and how, again, I can't come up with the words, but I have the word in my head, and probably after this is done, it's gonna come up in there. But I have all this potential, and I really need to figure out what is hindering me, what are the issues. But on a lighter topic, let's go ahead and check out some funny videos, which I have been watching, and kind of outside of, educating myself through research. I've been enjoying these TikTok videos. Like, they are hilarious. So we're gonna go ahead and watch some of them and see how accurate they are, or just people just doing too much.
Isn't a routine, it's a fragile streak. Like, I'll yoga perfectly for 6 days straight, and I'm feeling amazing. I'm like, okay, this is who I am now. I'm a yoga guy, I'm a yoga person, this is me, this is my thing. But then I miss day 7, maybe I'm tired, maybe it doesn't matter. And it's not like I just skip a day, bang, it's over. It's all over. Spell broken, contract void, rip it up. I don't do yoga anymore. I'm not a yoga guy.
Who can relate to that? So far, I've done, let's go with last year, because this year just started. Last year, I've started brewing. So I started making wine, cider. Then I got into formulating this formula to clean your meat and wash your fruits and stuff. Then I started doing jewelry, so I was a jeweler. Then I was a meditator, because I started meditating, and so many things I've tried, and that has been my life for a week, 3 weeks top. I've been just this person, and then I miss one day, and it's a wrap. And I can't explain how frustrating it is.
Issue with ADHD. I feel like I am stupid. I feel like I am legitimately dumb, because I will be sitting here trying to think of sentences. I have thoughts in my head, but I cannot cohesively put them together in full sentences, and I will stop. I will pause and stare into space, because I can't think of words that other people are thinking.
How frustrating. Like, I feel her pain. Sometimes it's like I'm having conversation. I feel so educated, so intellectual. The words are flowing. And then other times it's like just nothing is up there. It's nothing, just a black hole for maybe 5 to 10 seconds. And sometimes it's just like I give up and I go home, or I go ahead and that's when everything starts coming in. I'm like, oh, I could have said this is what I was trying to translate. It's trash. And what I've always tried to do is, again, I take responsibility. I am somebody who, what's that word? And the word is there too. Like the word, someone who takes Responsibility. Accountable. See, I had to Google it, and I know the word. Like, why can't it just doesn't come? But yeah, I take accountability. So I'm like, this is my fault. Maybe too much social media, too much TikTok. I gotta make sure that I'm taking care of my brain. I'm taking care of these cells, these neurons. Like, they're here to help me. My brain is my livelihood. So I try to make sure that I'm reading real books, I'm reading fictions, non-fictions, self-helps, and I'm also sleeping 8, 9, 10 hours. Like, I'm eating healthy. Gym. I was a gym girly for 2 weeks straight. Now I just try to do what I can. I do a couple push-ups in the midst of meetings and things like that if I can't make it to the gym. But yeah, I take accountability. So I'm like, social media is rotting our brains. I need to read more, but nothing changes. So I feel her pain. I think for the most part, let me know down below in the comments if you can relate. But for the most part, and where do you relate? Do you relate in the category of ADHD or dyslexia, or which category are you relating to? Because I'm relating in all of them. My dyslexia and ADHD is just grouping together, and it's giving me this life right here.
This is the worst part about ADHD. It's not the forgetting shit. It's not overbuying. It's not whatever you want to say it is. It's the paralysis. I'm just sitting here and I have so much to do. And all I'm doing is panicking and I'm overwhelmed. I'm just telling myself, just get up and do it. Just get up and do it. Just get up and do it. Stop being so lazy. And I just can't get up and do it. And I know I have so much capability. I know I could be doing so much with my life, but I just have no ability to follow through. I'll stress about a project for days or weeks. And if I had just gotten it done in that 20 minutes that it took, then I would have enjoyed that week and a half. But instead I have just panicked and paralysis.
And this part is so sad. And that's why I've just always been an advocate, whether I'm pro the medication, against the medication. I've always just been an advocate. Go get tested. Take the medication if it helps, because it ruins life. It definitely ruins people's life. And for the longest, and I think for me, it took me years, because I just always made the excuse of, am I lazy? Is maybe that's what it is. I always considered myself just lazy. And it took forever. I was literally, before I finally decided to go ahead and get tested, I was fighting with ChatGPT, trying to figure out, am I lazy or is this real? And it was just a nonstop questioning. Is it laziness? Is it laziness? Trying to figure out, what is laziness? What is it exactly? And most of us, we always feel like we're just lazy. But the context of the true definition of being lazy is what I had to figure out and learn and realize that, no, this is not lazy. I'm not just enjoying like failing or just enjoying not doing anything, going with the flow. Like, I'm not. Most of the time when I'm just sitting there thinking about all the things that I have to do, it's so stressful. Even like having to call somebody back is stressful. Like, I have to call my parents. Sometimes I'll go weeks, months, terrible. I once went a year without talking to my parents because I just got so embarrassed. Like, it became just embarrassing. It's like one day turned to a week turned into a couple weeks, then a month, and then a year, and my parents are just like passed out on the floor because I can't bring myself into making one lousy call. And you know, when you finally do that thing that you've been hiding from this for maybe days or months, and then you finally do it, and it's such a relief, and it's like, oh, I could do this all the time. And then you repeat the same pattern over the years. That was doing my with the parents thing. That was just my my first year in college, so I was trying to navigate the world. But I promised myself never to do that to my parents or family members ever again. So sometimes I'll go days but I will not go a month without talking. I won't go past 2 weeks top. I'll go maybe a week. But I always try to send my mom voices throughout the week, my parents, my siblings' voices, but I will not go past a month. And everybody at this point knows. But most importantly, I try to keep it consistent for my parents' sake, because they're elderly. They're like in their 60s. And it's like, I don't want to keep stressing them out like that. But it's just, we're not lazy. And you can try to figure out by seeing, hey, like when I am avoiding all of this, what is my mindset when I'm avoiding all these tasks, all these responsibilities? What is my mindset? Where's my mind at? Am I stressed or am I just enjoying life? Honestly, sometimes it does make me feel good, like, but it's just for a quick minute, a quick second where I'm like, I'm not gonna call my parents, or I'm not gonna do this. I'm not gonna take my dog on a walk, even though she needs a walk. I'm just gonna bring her in the backyard, or finish this assignment. It feels good because it gives me some sort of control for like a second. And then after that, then I'm worried. I'm like, oh, you should do it. Why aren't you doing this? The paralysis is crazy. It is crazy, you guys. And I'm just tired of just considering myself as someone who is lazy. Even getting my bachelor's, it took me 5 years just to get my bachelor degree. And the thing is, it was just a on and off process. I was just not able to get it. But when I finally doubled down and I was like, I'm going to do this, classes and courses that were supposed to take me months, weeks, like that, work that was supposed to take me months, got them done. Because at that point, there was a sense of urgency. People expected me to have a degree. I'm from a foreign household. They expected me to have a degree, and I was coming home with no degree. And I did not want to lie. I didn't want to mess up. I didn't want to make things up. So I was like, okay, I have 2 years to get this degree that was supposed to take me 4 years. So once I finally doubled down, I got my degree in 2 years. A degree that I was supposed to get in 4 years. Once doubled down and had the sense of urgency, I got it in 2 years. Then I got my master's in 1 year, 1.5 years, you can say, with my master's. So it's like when there's a sense of urgency, I can do it. Like anything, I can do anything. I've started so much. I've created so much with the sense of urgency and interest. But the minute that that's gone, it's just... And most of the time, it's never there. It's like I have to create it, or just when it comes, it comes. So I definitely feel for her, and I feel for all of us, honestly. I see a lot of people make jokes, and it's fun, where they're like, oh, it's my ADHD, like, blah. But the people who really have it and are suffering from it, like, we know this is not a laughing matter. Of course, I'll see some posts and I'll laugh. It's hilarious. It's not a laughing matter, because look at her. Like, well, that's all, folks. That's all I have today for the topic of the day. It was really nice conversing with you guys. It actually felt really good to get all of that out, because I don't talk to anybody about this. And I've been contemplating about making these videos and having these type of conversation. I'm mainly on the side where people are letting me know what's going on with them, and then for me, I'm like, oh, this is kind of embarrassing, let me just keep it to myself. But it's really giving me a nice perspective on how to really go and how to really navigate through this, even though I'm undiagnosed. Undiagnosed yet. But yeah, I have one favor to ask though. And it's not to like and subscribe. You could do that if you want to. But for those who know that they don't have ADHD, they're not no ADHD, no dyslexic, autism, not on the spectrum or anything like that. Can you guys relate to any of the symptoms, any of the like what people are commenting down? Can you relate to any of the challenges that we're going through? Are some of the challenges that we're mentioning, are those just normal people challenges, or do you feel like you can't relate? Like, no, I never experienced this, or yeah, I experienced this as a atypical person. I would love to know that. Like, comment it down. Let's have a conversation about this. But that's all. And again, stay tuned for the next video that we're gonna have, and we're gonna do a word of the day again, and of course, science major. So of course it's gonna be a science topic. But like I said, you guys take care and be safe out here. We love you all. I don't know who's we, but I said we, so we love you all.